Hey friends, let's add some sounds. So the starter code is linked in the comments. Let's check this out. So here I have let music. That is declaring a variable I'm going to use for some sound. And then under my load images, I have load sound. Okay, so music is load sound. And I'm loading this vivaldi.mp3 file. And then the way I play it is down in my code, this line right here, music.play. So that variable called music, the dot play function starts the sound. So I've got when I run it, it's playing music in that first scene. Here's how you add the sound. So let's add the step sound. So let music, that's declaring a variable. Sorry, not let steps. That's declaring a variable for holding the footsteps music. Okay, and that'll be the sound playing at the start of each scene. And then I need to load that. So let's copy this line, and then underneath we're gonna paste that underneath, and then we're gonna call that, let's call it steps, and then we want to load the footsteps file. So let's select that file name and copy it, Control C, and then let's paste it, Control V over here, so we get it right with no typos. All right, there we go. So that's loading it, and then let's play it. So down here where we're playing the music at the very start when count is 0, let's play our footsteps sound here. So footsteps.play. There we go. Okay, I should be putting semicolons here, but it actually works without semicolons. Sorry, that's me being a bit sloppy. Okay, now I want the footsteps to also sound at the start of the second scene. I don't want to put them in that count 150 between 300 because the sound will start again and again and again. I'll show you what that error looks like at the end. But what we're going to do is we're going to put in this little else if block here where count equals 150. Okay. And so then when count is exactly equal to 150, we'll start the sound. I'll take the equals off here. So then that next action will happen when count is greater than 150. And then if I copy the footsteps play code here, okay, it's gonna play the sound and then it'll add 1 to count. So the code will keep moving. I take the equal sign off there as well because it's the same situation. I want something to happen when count equals 0, and then something else to happen when count is greater than 0. I want something to happen when count equals 150 and something else to happen when it's greater. Now, when count equals 300, that's the start of the last scene. So I want to play my sound there as well. I've already got that code block there because if you remember, we reset the value of the A and B variables using that same idea. So now, if I run it, whoops, there's an error. Footsteps is not defined. So what did I do? Oh yeah, that's a common error. See, my variable is actually called steps. Variable's called steps, not footsteps. Okay, so I forgot because my file was called footsteps. My variable was called steps. So let's fix that. So it should just be steps.play here, and I've got to fix that everywhere I did it. There we go. Down here. Last one. There we go. All right. Let's make that a bit bigger. Let's just close down that files and let's try it. Go. That works. All right. Now here's how you record your own sound. So in Clipchamp, if you make a video and then you go record and you just do a screen recording, hit record and you can select your tab with YouTube on it. Okay, and then you can just play the sound. So I've got my footsteps sound here in YouTube. Just play a little short sample of it or just whatever you need. And then stop recording, save and edit, and then go back to your screen. There we go. And now what you can do is you can get it to where you want it to start, and then you can pause it, and then you can snip it, and then you can delete the unwanted stuff at the start, and then you can do the same thing at the end. So play it to the end of your sound clip, and then just pause it, snip it, and then delete the stuff you don't want at the end. Okay, and now that's actually a video. If I go to audio, detach audio, it's going to separate the video and audio, and then I can delete the video, leaving just the sound. And now I go to export, and then when I export it, it's just going to export the sound as a .mp4 file. So up top here, you can see that that's exported a .mp4 file into my downloads folder. Now, if I go to freeconvert.com, choose files, so freeconvert.com, choose that mp4 file from my computer, from my downloads, and then I'm going to output it as, oops, sorry, here's where I'm choosing it. Choose it from my computer. There we go, open that, and I'm going to output that as sound, audio MP3, there we go. And then convert. So that's converting it to an MP3 file. And then download that. And then that'll show up in my downloads folder as a .mp3 file. Okay. And then go back to p5.js editor. I'm just duplicating the file here because I think I kind of did this first. Okay, but I'm putting it at the end of the video for you. So make sure that you duplicate the file, name it, because then you can edit it yourself. And then go down to sounds. I actually made a sounds folder, and then upload the files into it, upload the sound files into it. To make a sounds folder, you just go to the little plus at the top, add folder, and then just call it sounds. Here we go. So uploading my footsteps file, and I'm also uploading my Vivaldi file, my MP3. Okay, so you're going to do exactly the same thing, and then you can preview it to make sure that it sounds the way you want it just here. Same way that you can preview your images. Okay, and then just put that into your code the way we did before. So now you add your sound. Oh, here's something you should avoid. Here's how to avoid a common mistake. So if you, instead of playing the music when count is 0, you play it for count between 0 and 150, what's going to happen is it's going to play the sound over and over and over and over again, so it overlaps and makes a mess. So you don't want to do that. You only want to play the sound one time. So just play your sound in an else if block where count is equal to a single value. All right. So that's one thing that's important. And then something I forgot to put in was how to actually stop the music. So the same way you start it using play, you stop it using stop. So if I wanted my music to stop at the start of that second scene, then what I would do is I would just put in here music.stop. Music.stop. Where is it? There we go. Music.stop. Okay. And then, so then when I play it, my music starts, and then it stops, music stops, and you can just hear the footsteps. Okay. So that's how you stop the music. So now you try with your own custom sounds.